Hi, everyone. I'm back. Okay, it's okay. If you didn't realize it, I'm here to tell you it's Friday. Thank God. No, Friday. It is Friday. We have reached the end of our work week. And I'm glad. It, I'm not living just for Friday. I'm just glad to be alive in this particular space and time during this pandemic when we've experienced so many losses. I'm just glad to be alive on this Friday. It is January 29th and it is 2021. So, welcome to the Women's Leadership Forum live version, where on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I bring you guests. So, on Monday, we talk about our health, both mental and physical health. On Wednesday, it's workforce development. And on Friday, I bring my friends. So Friday, I bring my friends to you, and I have terrific friends who like to impart information and like to share. So I'm happy to have my friends here today. Now, many of you who are just tuning in are saying, who are you? My name is Colette Coakley. My name is Colette Coakley. I'm the Vice President of Human Resources for Maryland Public Television, and I am the proud founder of the Women's Leadership Forum, where this started out as a dream with just 60 women coming into the studio at Maryland Public Television, and now, I can say last year. Yeah, it was last year where we were at Notre Dame and we had in the gymnasium auditorium over 500 women packed in the house who shared their ideas, their dreams, their hopes, and their fears, and looked for other women for support. And that's what we do. We bring support and resources to the table where you can pick and choose how you want to climb that ring of greatness, get to that next level. And we bring other women who you can have that conversation with without penalty, without judgment, because we are the no judgment zone. We are the no judgment zone. So we ask you to come no matter where you are. This is not just the CEO's corner. As a matter of fact, there are fewer CEOs in the circle, and there are people just like me, just like people who report to me, just like people who want to be like me, coming to the forum to share their knowledge, their information, because I'll tell you, I will learn from anybody. I'm going to ask you, what do you have to give? And how can you help me? And I know Lori, my next guest, she's laughing because I do her the same way. It's like, well, how can you help me? What do you got? So that's what we're here for. We're a collective body of women who love to share, who want to share with you. So join us. And so how can you join us? There's no entrance fee. If you're trying to make a tribe, you can say that the Women's Forum is your tribe. All you do is go to the website, which is forwardwlf.org, or you can find us through our hashtag forwardwlf. Register for the newsletter. And then you can say you have a tribe of women. We have over 1,000 women in which we send our newsletter to. No, do we know each other personally? No, but are we willing to help each other? Absolutely. We are willing to help each other. And so we invite you to come there too. Now, this Women's Forum has an event that takes place every single year. This will be our 4th year. And the Women's Leadership Forum takes place March 18th through the 20th. 3 days, you're set. Okay, stop rolling your eyes. This is a virtual event, but guess what? You do not have to stay glued to your seat for 3 days. That's unrealistic. But I will tell you, you're going to have to pay attention. all 3 days to know what you want to see, how you want to see it, at what time you want to see it. Because we're going to have something almost all day long, all 3 days, at least for 2.5 days, I'll say. We will have something all day long. And we are on a platform called Hop In, which allows you to hop in, hop out. So you do not have to remain glued to your seat. You're going to want to look at our schedule. You're going to want to see what you want to be a participant of, have conversation with the people in those groups, and then you're going to hop out. We have a fabulous keynote speaker in April Ryan, who is, if you don't know, but you should know, April Ryan is the White House news correspondent and bureau chief now for the Griot. So you're not going to want to hop in and out of that. And then we have Sheila Murphy, she's a famous immigration attorney who will be our moderator. Not only our moderator, but if you buy the upscale ticket, she's going to let you talk about her book, because she's going to have a book reading, book club event during our happy hour. But only those who claim the happy hour ticket and the VIP ticket are invited to that happy hour. So I hope that you all will go out there and upgrade your ticket or buy the upgraded ticket. So enough of me chatting about the Women's Forum and coming to the Women's Forum. I want to tell you about my friend guest here. Now, we have been friends and actually neighborhood buddies for a long period of time. We've served in the same realm of work, and we've been on committees together. I can't say that I run with her because I don't run people. I fast walk, but I do not run. But she's a runner, and I'm grateful to call her my friend, Lori Raggio. Okay. Let me tell you a little bit before she says thank you, because she's going to thank me after I read this bio here. Okay. Lori Raggio, she has her MBA. Now, I'm telling you, I don't have an MBA, but everybody who I bring on here has had an MBA or beyond. They're experts. They're scholarly. These are the people who you end up meeting at the Women's Leadership Forum. So I kid you not. If you are looking to get information, okay, come to the scholars. They know. She not only has her MBA, but she's the founder and CEO of Inspire Greatness Coaching and Consulting, LLC. She serves as the creation catalyst. I was teasing her before we came on if she wanted me to call her Mrs. Catalyst, okay? She's a soul activist and an intuitive transformation alchemist, helping women leaders remove their armor, because you know that we have it, find their authentic selves, because you know we're constantly searching, and live aligned with their passion and purpose. Now, that was a lot. That was a lot. And it was a lot of words, and there's a lot to unpack here. But I welcome Lori, my friend, I'm proud to say my friend, to the table here at the Women's Leadership Forum. Welcome, Lori.
Thank you, Colette. And before I say anything else, I want to, and I know I've said this to you individually, but applaud you for your vision and your leadership. I have known you since you started this, and I think I've been supporting the Leadership Forum by attending. And even about a year ago, helped with some additional resources through Loyola when you were looking to expand. So
yeah, absolutely.
I want to say to all of our listeners that it's an amazing, amazing event, and it just keeps getting bigger and better. And it's one that you really do not want to miss.
So let me just ask you this, okay? Because
Yeah.
I asked my guests to put in a plug for the forum. What do you think that if
Mhm.
what's your biggest takeaway about the forum?
Yeah, for me, it's the networking, it's the camaraderie, it's meeting people who, even when I was living locally, some I knew, but some I didn't. It's the conversations that people have at each session, in between each session. And it's also the something that you've created, Colette, that I haven't experienced anywhere else. It's a certain vibe.
The
It
tribe has
is.
a vibe.
Yeah. I mean, it really is. It's just it's a different feel.
You know, so you and I, we're off topic here but this is what happens
I know.
when friends get together, right? So you talk about the feel
Yeah.
of the Women's Leadership Forum, and I want people to understand. And this is the reason why I'm spending just a little time on it, because when we embarked on this year, one of the things that I heard was that people thought that the Women's Forum was for people of a certain caliber,
Hmm.
right? That you
Yeah.
had to be of an executive status to be invited to the room. And, you know, can you please back me up that that is not the case?
Yeah, no. Not at all. I mean, I think that's the other thing is that there's so much diversity in the room at all different levels, from education to experience to, I mean, just everything.
Hmm.
I mean, there, and I think that's part of it. It's a welcoming feel that, you are a woman. I mean, that's kind of the basis, right? Most of the
Right?
time,
I
at
think
least with
that's what we
most,
all have in common.
you know, but then it's like, you want to learn. I think that's the other thing is, a basis of wanting to learn and to share. And that's it. So it doesn't really matter your title, your position, where you work. It feels like we're all women. We're trying to collaborate. We're trying to support each other. We're trying to learn.
And wouldn't you say, and I'm leading into your book here
Yeah.
in a minute, wouldn't you say that in many ways you learn more about yourself?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Now you're not just going there to like, wait, who's in the room? Who can I
No.
network? You end up sitting up and go, oh wait, they're talking about wait, I didn't know that about myself. Or you say, oh, that's me.
Or I remember last year I was sitting there thinking, here I own my own business and I know my social media presence is not great. And I'm
Right.
sitting in
Yeah.
the room thinking, okay, okay, yes, I should be doing that, and that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's
So you take away so the Women's Forum was built on the fact that I think my attention span is like that of a gnat. And half the time I am multitasking during the course of some, you know, event that I've been invited to or that I paid for, and come to find out that it hasn't captured my attention.
hmm,
And what I find is that um, with the Women's Forum, they talk so much about what you need to do internally to be at the top of your
yeah,
game, or to get to the next level,
right.
or to help yourself move along in whatever
Yeah,
venture you're in, that you have no choice but to take a note.
right.
And because the person next to you is talking and might be your next resource, you're trying
Yes.
to figure out who can help me do the next best thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, I invite all of you again, to go to the website, all right? Go to the website forward WLF.org and register. Register for the newsletter, which is, by the way, is getting ready to come out in a few days. Register for the newsletter. You'll get updates on what's going to happen in the forum itself, and then you now will be a part of the tribe because you will have access not only to the website but resources. Now, we talk about transformational experiences. And Lori here, even though I didn't read it in the bio, but I'm sure it's in her longer version of the bio, has a book out. And it is called Transformation 2020. I'm trying to turn this right, audience.
Sure, that's good.
Okay, thank you. No glare. Okay, Transformation 2020. And it's 20 inspiring stories from power and healing from women leaders, of which Lori is one. And so, I wanted to read a passage out of here if I didn't bookmark it well. Yeah, okay. I wanted to read a passage out of here because it struck me as something that was relevant to women today. And it for me, it resonated with those women who want to be authentic, but wear the mask in the workplace, who always feel as though they have to be X when they are actually Y or something or something different. So it struck me, this stood out. So let me read it. Read it, Colette, read it. I learned that attempting to be perfect and looking put together on the outside with an energy level of the Energizer Bunny, and we all know what that is, helped me to avoid someone asking how I was doing or expecting me to be vulnerable. Tell us what, pick that apart a little bit, okay? Because we see you in your perfection now with your lovely jewelry, you're matching, top, you're matching top. Nobody knows what we're wearing down on the bottom, but nobody cares.
Right.
But you have it all together and you look all put together. Tell us about that.
Yeah. Well, for me, some of that actually started when I was about 10 years old, when I was diagnosed with anorexia. And part of that disease is a lot of control. So you kind of try to control things to bring more of a feeling of normalcy in your life. And so one of the things that I'd learned is, oh my gosh, if I can control not bringing food into my body, and that worked, I'm going to use that control in other things. And I did. So control from, okay, I'm going to give you this impression of who I am by how I look, or what work I have, or what title I have, or all the different activities that I'm involved in, or the certifications, or all of these external things that show on the outside that I'm fine. Because if you see that, you're probably not going to think that I need anything or that I want anything, or that I might not even be someone who is approachable. So I had learned that control and that kind of external image kept me safe. And in my career life, Colette, it actually turned out to be that I was very successful. But I get to a point where it no longer was comfortable. I no longer could really be who I was, who I wanted to be, because it was just an external view. So at some point, it was more painful, to put on that image than it was just to let people know who I was. Truly who I was.
So how did your perfectionism, or how does perfectionism show up? Whether you use yourself as an
Yeah.
example.
To me, I think it's, being very concerned about the outcome of things. So if I do something, it has to be exactly right, whatever that means. You can't make any mistakes. You really need to be, sometimes for some people, it's being a people pleaser because you
Hmm.
don't want to let anybody down,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
But then they don't know who you really are. It's just it's just a outside image.
So would you say that uh, I'm leading you down a
Yeah.
path here, but would you
Yeah.
say that you're a risk taker, or that you were a risk taker?
I would say I probably was less of a risk taker than I am now,
Mm-hmm.
because I think as I got older, and two, I got more in tune with who I am and was okay with that. I didn't care as much what people thought, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So,
And
yeah,
I say that to say that, like, a lot of women um, versus men,
yeah,
men are more willing to take the risk.
yeah, they don't
You
care.
know, yeah, it's like they're more willing to go out there, or just
Yeah,
like um, say and asking for a raise.
yeah. I think
They're,
sometimes it's less concern about needing to prove. And I think
yeah,
for us, I think many women feel like they have to prove their
prove them.
worth, prove
Yeah,
that they're good enough, prove that they're okay enough, whatever.
yeah.
Um,
And so I just had to coach somebody to tell them, okay, if people are not recognizing your hard work, because you're just like working away, and you're trying to figure out when are they going to give you the raise.
right.
They may never give you the raise if you don't go in there and ask for it.
No, no.
They may say keep doing, and here's another pile of X.
Right,
Can you
right.
finish that pile?
Yeah.
And we have to get better. And I think, okay, I'm sorry, this is bringing up the forum, but if you remember in last year's forum, the gentleman who stood up, he was Indian, and he stood up and he said, the one thing that you all don't have is confidence.
Yes, I
You don't
remember
come to
that.
the table with confidence to even come forward and
Yeah,
say
yeah,
what it is that you want, or
right.
even express yourself in terms of the things that you do well. You don't
Yeah,
even tell what you do
right.
well. And so,
Yeah.
um, you know, I thought that that was very telling and very true. But at the same time, we also are gun shy because we've been called things because we have come forward,
Right.
right?
Right. Then you're too forward, you're too whatever. It's fascinating because I do have a coaching client right now who is a human resources professional and fairly young, and young in her career. And I think it was our second or third meeting, and we were talking about her title, and she's trying to be more on a strategic level with the rest of the leadership team. And I asked, what is your title? What are your roles? What are the titles of everybody else that you're working with? And I just flat out said to her, I said, where do you think you should be? Like, what do you want your title to be? What do you want your salary to be? And we had that discussion. The next week, she went into her boss, who's the CEO, and said, I want this title. I want this salary. It's based on X. And he's like, fine. So she had been just kind of going along with it without really thinking about it was even an option to go in and ask for what she really deserved. And it was
Which
just that,
re-
you
you
know?
know, and what you said, what you're saying now, we talked about, like, it was either last Wednesday or the Wednesday before in our workforce discussion, that sometimes we get in our own way.
Oh, yeah.
We
Yeah.
talk ourselves out of the things that we actually deserve.
Right. Right. And so it's like, you know, all the excuses, right? And what is that person going to think of me? Am I too forward? Is it too
Yeah,
early? I haven't been in my role long
yeah,
enough. Blah, blah, blah. And it's like, we don't know unless we take that risk and that next step and just ask. We don't know.
we don't know. So, Lori, I know your story, but the audience doesn't know your story. Tell us about your journey.
Yeah. Well, I think I'll talk about kind of the last 3 years, really. So, my whole life, I think, has been a journey. Now that I look back, I think things happen for reasons that maybe I didn't know at the time. But in August of 2017, my HR leadership position was eliminated. And
Mm,
I had been with that organization just shy of 16 years. And thinking about how I was functioning at that point in my life, my work was everything. I definitely was a workaholic, definitely. What I did in my title, anything work related, really was my identity. Yes, I had a spouse. Yes, I had a son. Yes, I had friends, but I would always put work before any of that. And so that came pretty much crashing down on me.
mm,
Yes, I had thought about this is not my ideal role. I want to do something else.
right.
Maybe I'd like to start a business. Well, I think what happens to us is if we don't initiate what we want ourselves, something or somebody else does it for us. And
Mm,
so, in some ways, it was the best thing that could happen to me. It was
mm,
tough, really tough. But I had to slow down. I had to stop. I had to reevaluate everything. And
mm,
part of that was I was able to start a business. That's wonderful. Part of that was I realized that my marriage was not what I wanted it to be. Um, some of it was I wasn't living in the state that I really felt like I needed to be living in. So I think what happens is that if we want to be open, we need to be ready that some of the changes that we're going to need to make may be very difficult changes,
mm,
and they do impact other people. So I think for me, there's a good ending, to all of that. I mean, I worked with my spouse to get our house ready to sell. Our house sold in 7 days in COVID last year. We both always dreamt of living in Arizona. So we moved together to Arizona, although we're separated and we don't live in the same household. We still see each other almost weekly because we share two huskies. I mean, there's a way to do these things and to make these changes so that, people are still being made whole in the process. But many people, even very close to me, really, really close friends to me, would look at me and say, Lori, you've been married for 32 years. Are you sure? Can you do this? Is this the right thing? Can't you make it work? And it's like, no, this wasn't a quick decision. This was about a 15-year decision.
mm, mm,
And the other thing that I really think is that each person probably has their, what I like to call their happy place or their geographical soulmate. It's like, where do you want to live? Is there that place where you go and you are just 100% who you want to be? And to me, it's Arizona. And so my entire outlook on life and my energy, everything is very different since I've been here.
So I'm going to speak for the audience and ask the question that probably the audience would want to know.
Yeah.
One, speaking for the audience, I'm going to say you're darn lucky.
Mm.
Um, um, because while there are a lot of breakups, and particularly
Yeah.
in COVID, they said that the divorce rate, it has increased. Many
Yes.
things have increased since COVID,
Yeah.
but the divorce rate has increased. You had a peaceful separation, and
Yeah.
a amicable in some
Mhm.
ways,
Yeah.
amicable separation, and
Right.
um, many things were fell in your favor. I think, I
Mhm.
guess, I don't know if you call it that, but there
Mhm.
have been, I think, tumultuous
Yes.
uh, divorces and
Yeah.
separations, and
Yeah.
you. I guess what I want to say is that one, I'm hoping that you are saying that you're happy,
That I am or that I'm not?
that you are
Yes,
happy.
I
Yeah.
am.
Okay. So let's check that box. Okay. And that what it is a blessing that you are in a happy place.
Yes.
So kudos for you for getting there. And we're going to go back to the book,
Yeah.
that is all a part of transformation. You're not trying to transform to the bad place. You're
Right.
trying to right. You're
Yeah, but I
trying
also
to,
think, Colette, that there's certainly bumps in the road. I
yeah.
mean, when I look at, any time that there's that many years that you've shared with someone, I mean, there's financial changes. I mean, there's all kinds of things that still need to be worked out and that are not ideal.
Well, let's face it,
But,
Lori,
you
you
know,
did say one. You said two numbers. I've been married for 32 years.
yes.
Okay, if somebody is expecting for that to just like that, it's over just like that,
Yeah.
that doesn't happen. Okay, and then you also said 15 years. It took you 15 years to get to you didn't you well, for me it almost feels like you just moved to Arizona, but
Yeah.
you just moved. It was in this year or in a
It was June of 2020.
okay, June of 2020. So you haven't even been there a full year.
Right.
Okay, this took time, and it took a lot of thought, and it took a lot
Yes.
of probably what we would call
Yes.
soul searching.
Yeah.
Um, and for what I know about you, the decision was yours. It wasn't
Yes.
like people
Right.
egging you on because I didn't. I didn't. I know
Yeah.
that I didn't. I just got a call, and so and so it's not. It wasn't something that you made
No.
hastily, but the other H word is that you're happy, and that's a place where some people don't get to their entire life because they don't realize of the choices that
True.
they have.
Yes.
Yeah, and sometimes in your coaching, business coach or a personal coach helps you to get to that place.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, and
they
I
don't
think
tell you.
yeah. And I think one of the things that I think is important is I certainly didn't get here by myself. I mean, I had coaches, I had spiritual guides, I had friends, I had family. Um, and so it would not have worked if I had tried to do it on my own. Yeah.
So let's we're a little bit beyond the time, but I have something I want to ask. Okay,
Okay.
so it says, and I think that this is a question that we as women need to ask ourselves. And this is coming out of, this is the companion. I did that right. Okay.
You did?
This is the companion workbook to the book, The Transformation 2020. It's the companion journal. And it helps you in your journaling because it gets you to think about, it asks you particular questions for which you can journal about. So one of the questions under the pages that are dedicated to Lori, which is page 52 and 53, it says, what is currently preventing you from moving forward? And I chose this because it is talking about moving forward, like the forum, towards your calling. Because I believe, when I get up before the audience, that we're all put on this earth with a purpose and a meaning, and we need to find what that is because we work best in our purpose and in our meaning. So what is currently preventing you from moving forward towards your calling? What fears are holding you back? And in this big question, because it's a big question and you need to take time to really think about it, because it's talking about your mountains, your obstacles, right, that are holding you back. What are some of the things that you find when you're coaching, Lori, that women say are holding them back from their calling?
Yeah, I think one big one is a feeling that they're not worthy of having what that is that they really want.
Yeah.
Another one is I'm not good enough, something related to that, whether it's skills, whether it's, I don't have what it takes.
Yeah.
Others are, I need to put my family, my job, other things before my needs. So until my kids are all gone out of the house, or, so there's always this, maybe I can have what I really want when all these other things have been taken care of.
Let's take that one just for a second, and then we'll close out, because you and I, because we're friends, we'll hold the audience hostage. Okay, so let's unpack that just a little bit.
Yeah,
women, particularly if you're a single mom, right?
Yeah,
we are going to put the children first and put ourselves at the end. Or put ourselves last. What do you say to that, to women in those circumstances? Now, let's preface this by saying your answer does not necessarily, you don't have everybody's circumstances. So we're just talking generally.
Yeah.
Generally, this is not the answer for everyone. This is just a general answer, because we know that there are some realities that hit us where there is no excuse. We just have to do what we're doing.
Right.
But what are some of maybe the questions or things to get us to think about, even if we find ourselves in that circumstance?
To me, it's, being clear on what that aspiration is, or what are those goals, and at least taking baby steps towards them. So again, not 100% waiting, but doing something. And I have a sister, my youngest sister, who has been a single mom with 5 kids of all different ages. And so I know, she has sacrificed a lot for them, and, is trying to put baby steps in so that she's not, angry because she has sacrificed, everything for them, or not happy because, so it's maybe, my sister being able to do things might be at a different pace than me, because I don't have some of those responsibilities.
Right.
But to take some time and make some progress.
So a couple of things that you said that are just so true. One, taking baby steps is important, because, for the women who, let's take the example of trying to go to school, but you have a family to take care of, a household, you might, be married, or even a caregiver, and you're trying to figure out, where am I going to find the time to do it? Now, anything great will require a sacrifice on everybody's behalf. And so maybe it's gathering the children and telling them, you might have to have a nugget or two on Wednesday and Thursday, because those are the days that I go to school. You might have to do that. And or have you even explored your options?
Right.
Right? Because now with the whole virtual classroom, it might be that class is only on Sundays at 2. Right? And it's giving you homework that you won't have to turn in for a week.
Right.
Can you handle that? And like you're saying, Lori, stop comparing yourself. Just because this person has the PhD or this person has a master's doesn't mean that you have to have a master's. 1. 2, if you desire that and you really want that, you can have it, but it doesn't mean you need to get it tomorrow and kill yourself over it. The master's degree does, just because people get their master's in 2 years, there are women it took them 10.
Yeah.
I don't know if what program that is, but my point is it might take them a long time to get their master's. The point is how do they say? It's progress, not the perfection.
Yeah.
All right. It is the progress that you're making. You should not stand still. Okay, here's my plug. Move it forward. Move it forward in some fashion. There are some coaches out there that will tell you, do something every week, every month. Schedule towards moving towards your goal. Just sitting still is not going to do it.
No.
It just gives you a soft behind. That's all.
Very true.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, in closing, Lori, because we are like so far beyond the time, but in closing, give us some words of wisdom.
Well, 1, register.
Hey, that is the most wise thing.
Well, I will be there. So I will be there. And I may need to check to see if I need to upgrade my ticket or not. But I think for me, it's take time to think about what your goals are, and then set up a plan with realistic steps and timeframes. And then let everybody who you know who can support you know what that is. So that you're not doing it by yourself.
Yep. I like everything that you are saying, because it often reminds me, in I think the second women's forum, where I said, you need to bring your passion to the table. And then someone reminded me, like, I don't know what I'm passionate about. So take that time.
Yeah.
Take that time to figure that out. And there are people, again, I'm going to say, at the forum, who can help you do that. There are plenty of coaches. There are plenty of people who perhaps have done what you are trying to do, or what you're thinking that you're trying to do, or what you who actually didn't know what they wanted to do, who fell into their own passion to discover their passion. Okay, there are plenty of those people there that you should want to have a conversation with them.
Yes.
And you will find that there are people there that are in the same boat, and probably will walk you into that room and ask the same question that's been on your mind for a long time. Like, what am I supposed to be doing next? Or I'm still stuck in the same job that I've been in for 30 years and I have the certificate to prove it, but I've never thought about whatever.
Right.
We're there to ignite that fire.
Yeah.
So that you are performing at capacity and in your greatness, because that's what we were designed to do, to perform in our greatness. That's my speech for this evening.
On that note.
And on that note, I want to close out, and I do want to thank you. Is there something that you would like to tell the audience about you and your business, Lori, while I'm going to my banners?
I am a leadership coach specifically for women. And so I work with women of all ages. Current clients are anywhere from early 30s to early 70s right now. But it's helping all of us to really decide, what it is that we want to do, and then supporting, guiding, walking with you to get there.
Yeah. So, audience, do you hear? She's willing as a coach to walk along. This is what coaches do. They help you reach your goals. They're not creating your goals. You do that. You do that. But they ask you questions that help you perhaps decide what your goals are. And then they help you to be, they're your accountability partners.
Yes.
And they walk alongside you to help you get to where you want to go. So how great is that? Some of you all think that that's your friends. Okay. And some of us have realized that it's our friends plus.
Right.
It's our friends plus, and that we needed the added levels of accountability, and we need somebody who will step in the gap and say, I'm with you. I cheer you on. I want to see you get there. Here I am at the finish line with open arms. And they will also help give you the tools. So what some people believe is like coaches, again, are for the CEOs. But let me tell you, some people need coaching in just their finances. How can I save $100? There are coaches that are going to help you do that too. So again, you see here where Lori has that she's the creation catalyst. If you're trying to create a plan for yourself, okay, you might want to visit Ms. Catalyst. Okay. Well, do you have a website, Lori?
The best way right now, it's under construction. So the best way to get to me is through my LinkedIn, and it's under Lori Raggio.
Lori Raggio, Raggio. You want to look her up. Again, everybody who I'm bringing to you. Old school, put it in your Rolodex. New school, contact list. Make sure that you make contact with Lori. Say that you saw her on the Women's Leadership Forum. She wants to hear from you. I want to hear from you. We're going to talk about it in this next minute. I'm going to tell you what's coming up next.
Colette, I have one thing. Well, the first 5 people that get to me that say that they heard about this through this broadcast will get a free signed book and workbook. So the first 5 people.
The people that come on, they are super generous. Guess what? Book, workbook. And the operative word here is free. So first 5 people that connect with you? Is that what you want?
To connect with me because they said that they saw us on this broadcast. Yeah.
Do you hear that? This is easy, people. Giveaway. Connect with Lori Raggio, the Creation Catalyst, on LinkedIn. And you will receive not only a free book, but also a free workbook. Okay. Coming up next. Oh my gosh. We're going into the month of February. Can you believe it? Can you believe that we're in the month of February? The month of February, the month of love, the month of desire. We are going to focus on the heart, people. We're focusing on the heart. What's in your heart? Do you have a heart? Okay. And I don't mean the organ pumping. Okay. How are you treating your heart when it comes to exercise? I need to get on that. Everybody, you want to pay attention in the month of February. Month of February, because I love the month of February. Lots of things to give away. We already started this with this book here. Okay. Lori jumped the gun. I didn't even know she was going to do that. But guess what? She's starting off February and January. She's giving away her book. Go to her LinkedIn page. Then what's coming up next? Okay. February 1st, we're starting off getting our heart pumped with our cardio at 6 p.m. with Lotus Fitness. Okay. Somebody, please join me. Join me in that cardio, because I can't be by myself and trying to get in shape. You don't have to appear on camera. You won't appear on camera. Just be with me. Encourage me. I need it. Okay? That's on February the 1st. On the 3rd, I am bringing Mr. Aaron Copeland. He is the owner of Align Staffing. And this is even though he's coming on a Wednesday, Aaron is my friend. We have the most lively discussions. We're going to try to talk about staffing and what's coming up, with jobs and how he can help you to get a job. But there's no telling where we're going to go with our conversation. Okay. And then on Friday, February the 5th, I'm bringing on board Miss Keisha Hicks. You saw her last month. She is the owner of Elevateher, and she talks to us about self-care. The thing that we are so poor at as women. I'm not talking about the self-care, get your nails done, because I think some of us got that down well. But I'm talking about taking care of your mind, taking care of your body, taking care of yourself spiritually, so that you can move to that next level. And what is the next level? You're going to come and view our 28 Days of Black Business. It's February. It's Black History Month. And guess who we're celebrating? We're celebrating Black businesses in our social media. So check us out. And where do you check us out? I'm giving you all a lot to think about here today. You're going to check us out on our website, forwardwlf.org, because you're going to want to attend the Women's Leadership Forum, March 18th through the 20th. We've got something for you each day. And you small businesses out there, on Saturday, we have a roundtable, and that roundtable is packed with women who can talk about small business ventures and what they've had to do during this pandemic period. We're going to talk about pivoting. We're going to talk about PPP. We're going to talk about just their idea of business. I got two ladies. One's a sister scientist and the other one is a lawyer. And put those two women together and they're going to talk about their business. I'm not going to give it away. They're going to talk about their business and how they're surviving. And guess, they're coming to us from New York. New York, if you go down Madison Avenue and the big streets, it's kind of silent now. But these women are surviving. They're surviving in their business. This is what we do in the Women's Leadership Forum. We talk about our ups, our downs, so that you can understand how you can survive in periods and in times like these. Now, as I sign off, I'm telling you, mask up, wash your hands, be safe, stay socially distanced, because we want to see you at the forum. We want to see you at the forum. And so be safe, make wise decisions about yourself, and come and visit us, because without you, there is no us. I think, oh, that sounds like a tagline, doesn't
It
it?
does. It
Okay,
does.
without you, there is no us. There is no, that's like, there is no I in team, although Kobe Bryant says something else different, but there is no I in team. We need all of you all. Come join us, be with us. I appreciate you, whether you're streaming or whether you're live. I appreciate all of you. So I look forward to seeing you on the next live broadcast, and I look forward to seeing you at the Women's Forum. I appreciate you, Lori, for being with there and for being my friend and hanging in
Thank you,
there
Colette.
with me. And Lori has been to every one of the conferences,
I
so she
have.
knows what she's talking about. She wouldn't spend her money that way. Okay. She doesn't have to spend her money that way. It's not just in support of me, but she's trying to support herself and taking herself to the next level. So I appreciate you. Even that you moved away from me, all the way in Arizona. I still love you, Lori, and I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Until next time, audience. See you soon. Be safe.